Muffin. Let's go over the news. Oh, no, you're licking me. That's good. I love you too, Muffin. Let's talk about the news. Okay. What's going on with China? Should we be nervous? Should we be concerned? The Daily Mail never steers me wrong. China now threatens U.S. entities in response to spy balloon being shot down and claims America flew airships over Tibet and Xinjiang, but Kamala insists saga won't damage relations with communist Beijing. What's going on with the balloons, guys? China warned it would take countermeasures against U.S. entities in response to American fighter jets shooting down its surveillance balloon amid tense diplomatic relations. Beijing's foreign ministry spokesman Wang Wenbin also claimed that the U.S. has also flown high altitude balloons over its Xinjiang and Tibet regions after the White House rejected claims that it was behind any flights. So are we all doing these fucking balloons back and forth? Wang didn't reveal any details and did not identify the targets of the measures, but claims the U.S. overreacted by scrambling F 22s to down the spy balloon and used it as a pretext to sanction Chinese linked companies. I don't understand. I just feel like, isn't Biden like sucking China's dick constantly? Why would they want to sanction Chinese linked companies? Despite the friction, Vice President Kamala Harris said she did not think the spy balloon saga would damage relations with Beijing. It follows a report that the Biden administration was tracking the balloon for a week from the moment it took off from Hainan Island. This is probably in Chinese. Okay, here's the route it went. Oh, okay. Started over here, went up that way into Canada, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, and then they shot it down what? Off the coast of Virginia or DC? Oh, and it flew over the US nuclear missile sites. China warned it would take countermeasures against U.S. entities in response to American fighter jets shooting down its surveillance balloon amid tense diplomatic relations. How is anybody allowed to just have a balloon go intact and just fly it over somebody else's country? I don't think anybody would like that. Harris told Politico, "I don't think so. No." When asked if she thinks the shooting down of the spy balloon would impact the relationship between the two superpowers, we seek competition, but not conflict or confrontation, she said, in line with the White House stance on China. Harris Harris' comments sparked a direct statement from Republican Senator Rick Scott saying she has shown nothing but total incompetence when it comes to threats facing America. Now, after watching communist China fly a balloon over the entire United States, she thinks that we should just carry on like nothing happened, Scott added. Her failure to understand and act on the threats facing our nation isn't just embarrassing, it's dangerous. Communist China is our enemy and wants to destroy our way of life. If Kamala Harris doesn't understand that, she should resign. Oh, I think they understand. They're just kind of like licking their buttholes. The American people cannot afford weakness from unserious politicians in the White House. Every time I see a picture of her laughing, I can like hear her cackle. Yeah, Kamala does not think the spy balloon saga would damage relations with Beijing. This week, China countered that U.S. balloons had flown over its airspace without permission more than 10 times on the round the world flight since May of 2022. Well, that's weird. I haven't heard about us flying balloons. Without the approval of relevant Chinese authorities, it has illegally flown at least 10 times over China's territorial airspace, including over Xinjiang, Tibet, and other provinces, Wang told a regular daily briefing on Wednesday. The U.S. has abused force, overreacted, escalated the situation, and used this as a pretext to illegally sanction Chinese companies and institutions. Yeah, like which ones, though? Wang said. China is firmly opposed to this and will take countermeasures against relevant U.S. entities that undermine China's sovereignty and security in accordance with the law, Wang says. Is this boring, Muffin? It is boring. The balloon dispute has delayed efforts by both sides. My eye, you licked my eye. To mend relations, although President Joe Biden has also said that he does not believe ties between the two countries were weakened by the incident. Oh, so we're all just fucking around sending balloons back and forth. Okay. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, who postponed. Oh, you know, it'd been great if Antony Blinken became an optometrist. Blinken, I mean, how do you not go into that? Who postponed a planned trip to Beijing over the balloon is considering meeting China's top diplomat Wang Yi in Munich this week, sources have said. The balloon took off from Hainan Island off southern China at the end of January and entered U.S. airspace on January 28th above Alaska. It briefly entered Canada and crossed back into U.S. territory over northern Idaho on January 30th, the day the White House said Biden was first briefed on it. The balloon traversed the U.S., passing over multiple sensitive areas before being shot down. The Pentagon said it was too risky to shoot over land. But on Tuesday, the New York Times reported the balloon was being monitored right from the moment it took off. How do you trust anything the government says at this point? Like, I don't know if it's even possible for them to regain our trust. In a sign of how closely the United States had been monitoring the balloon surveillance program directed by the Chinese military recently, U.S. officials said that in interviews they began tracking the spy balloon as it lifted off from the Hainan Island in southern China in late January. Republicans have demanded to know why it wasn't shot down sooner. Yeah, probably because they just don't want to piss off China. Because we're pussies. Okay. Report says that the Chinese military has previously sent balloons into the airspace of geopolitical rivals such as Japan, India, and Philippines. I mean, balloon is so obvious. The Pentagon earlier said at least 4 balloons were previously detected over airspace in Hawaii, Florida, Texas, and Guam. I forgot about Guam. I always forget about Guam. 3 of those were during Trump's presidency. Yes. Yes, Muffin? Over the weekend, more balloons were shot down in Alaska, Canada's Yukon province, my nose, and Lake Huron. There's the balloon debris. Muffin, you would care about this story if the balloons were full of treats. Then you'd be like, oh, where are they going? Old Joe may have to go to war and lose his 10% from Hunter. They huff and puff and they won't blow the house down. And they're all about finance. Creating issues will hurt their pockets, so they just keep huffing and puffing. Hardly surprising considering the left are founded on communism. I know all patriots are proud of this country. However, the reality is that we are weakening, and that's why these wars are happening using proxies in order to push U.S. hegemony. We are trillions in debt. Our military only knows pronouns. Many have left the military and they're having difficulty hiring. We are not the country we used to be. We have homeless people and drugs. People coming over the border. Inflation continues to rise. Many citizens don't trust the government. I'm sorry, but unless we get another administration in control, we're going to go deeper into the hole. It's true. China should just fly them up from Mexico, then we wouldn't touch them. That's great. Oh boy. Balloon Gate. Good night, mister. You could not pay me to go back to the military. Apache. If they were monitoring from the start, why not shoot it down as it traveled over the Pacific? Yeah, that's what everyone's saying. Thanks, Apache. Push ups. We haven't needed spy planes and balloons over China since the launching of spy satellites in the 60s. The Chinese are lying. Oh, they're lying, Muffin. They're lying. We can't trust the Chinese. Nobody can. All right, which story you want to do next? We'll do this one since it's related to the balloons. This.
Okay, maybe half.
So apparently, pranksters flew a spy balloon of their own over the Chinese embassy, and they were accused of starting World War III. Internet pranksters. Oh, I wonder if I know who they are. Yeah, he's just like a snippet.
No.
What?
Yeah, of course it's going to go up there. It's got helium in it. That's not that groundbreaking. It's quite a big balloon.
Okay, UK, that makes sense. UK pranksters have been accused of trying to start World War III after flying a spy balloon over the Chinese embassy amid the alleged balloon espionage scandal between the US and China. Video of their helium-filled fact-finding mission has raked up nearly 1 million views on, of course, TikTok. Of course. Would it be a news story without a TikTok? Let's watch their dumb TikTok. We flew a spy balloon over China. Josh and Archie.
On the 28th of January this year, the Chinese government sent a high-altitude spy balloon over the United States, which caused some problems.
Oh, hold on, is this the Home Depot song in the background? Dun 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 dun. I think it is.
Sovereignty. We will act to protect our country.
And so on Saturday, some American fighter jets shot it down, which gave Archie and I an idea.
Go, spy balloon.
If China can use a high-altitude balloon to spy on the West, why can't the West use a high-altitude balloon to spy on China?
So the Chinese embassy is legally considered to be China.
But we'd still need a giant high-altitude balloon, a lot of helium, and a spy camera.
We're going to fly a very small weather balloon over the Chinese embassy.
The answer is potentially issues, yes.
Archie decided the lawyer was expensive and boring, so ignored him and bought some massive weather balloons off eBay anyway. Then headed to a shop to buy the helium we'd need.
This is a normal balloon. What we've got is not a normal balloon.
We bought some ropes and did a trial run with our backup balloon.
Archie spy balloon take one.
No. It's time to go to China.
The moment had come to spy on the embassy of the People's Republic of China.
Yeah, this is pretty dangerous.
This is one of the United Kingdom's most secure buildings.
Up. It's going to start going towards the building. What do you do? Bear in mind, there's lots of slack. I've never felt more like a criminal in my life.
Wow, string.
Nope. It's going to float, don't you worry about that. We're here outside the Chinese embassy.
It's time for the real Josh and Archie spy balloon to be released.
Up it goes.
I don't even see. Oh, there is a camera.
This is a mess. We're in a tree. Okay, now we just need the wind to take it, Josh. The height. Okay, let's walk it around now. Walk it around.
Silly.
Our balloon had scaled the embassy and was in Chinese airspace. Our spy cam was staring into the windows of China. We even spotted a man on the roof.
The police are here.
The police are coming now.
Oh no!
Nice and slowly. Just get those nice shots there, please. Nice and slowly.
People inside may be offended by
it. They might be offended.
That's right. Try to pop it now. It's going to make a bit of a pop. Yeah.
We know nothing about global politics, but we do know that if the world's largest country invades your nation's airspace with a giant spy balloon, it's not that hard to send your own giant spy balloon back into theirs. Just try not to get arrested.
Okay, that was a good attempt. Good job, UK TikTokers. We thought that considering the Chinese are such fans of these balloons that they would like it. Josh Peters, 29, one half of the online community duo Josh and Archie, told Kennedy News of the prank, which they filmed February 8th at the Embassy of the People's Republic of China in Marylebone, central London. The prank was a response to the ongoing U.S.-China spat that began 2 weeks ago after the U.S. shot down an unidentified object they believe was a Chinese spy balloon. This sparked an international uproar, with Chinese officials claiming that the device was simply a high-altitude weather balloon. Peter said they planned the prank as a bit of a tit-for-tat. That's funny. Flying to China would take a while, and it's expensive, so we thought it's an easier way to just fly it over the embassy. That's funny. In the clip, Peters and his partner in crime, Archie Manners, can be seen MacGyvering a makeshift air espionage device after ignoring their lawyers' warnings that the stunt might be an issue. The duo buys a giant white weather balloon on eBay and then inflates it with giant tanks of helium found from a store. They complete the copycat balloon by outfitting it with a GoPro to film their airheaded intel gathering attempt. All that just to see some Chinese guy on the roof of the embassy. That's pretty great. It's time to go to China. Good for them. They have 1.45 million subs on YouTube. Wow, that's pretty good. We were nervous while blowing up the balloon, but we were confident the fact that children walk with balloons all the time. While it was reportedly hard to see what was transpiring behind the windows, he insisted that there were no doubt some deep, dark secrets being held within. As it rose to the top, we could see a man conducting what looked like a very serious business call at the top of the roof. Unfortunately, it wasn't too long before authorities let the air out of our proverbial balloon. In the footage, a police van arrives at the scene and 4 armed guards step out and quiz the impromptu operatives about their antics. Yeah. One of the officials mentions that the embassy employees may find the stunt offensive To which Manor snarks, yeah, we definitely don't want to offend the Chinese. That was definitely not part of the plan. The clip concludes with the guards telling them to deflate the balloon and take it away. It seems that there is a very fast response to bring the balloon down, and we think that has something to do with the Chinese noticing our spy balloon, not being happy about it. That's funny. These seem like just like typical improv / comedy guys. However, Peter said he didn't see why they had to burst their bubble, that the Chinese are such fans of these balloons. Yeah, Muffin. Isn't it funny? Is that a funny prank? Is that funny? Another warn, try not to cause a diplomatic incident, please, guys. Bro is literally performing acts that could change the world's timeline and create wars. No. Oh, I mean, kidding. If this is all it takes, that's pretty sad. The trolls don't appear concerned about the ramifications of their not-so-secret mission. A lot of people say we could start World War III, but we wouldn't do that, Peter scoffed. It was just a gathering mission. I think it was a success if any world leaders would like to consult us or get our expertise on any future spying missions. That's funny. Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Love you, get it. Bye, guys. Bye. Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.